Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Reinharz, CEO of Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions. This, of course, is your weekly update, which is going to be published on Saturday, February 17th. We've got 2 weeks left in the fiscal year, and we're going to start out by talking about a couple big milestones. The first big milestone that I'll share, which will be news to everybody because we've not discussed this anywhere yet, is that we have passed 50,000 people on our email list. Huge, 50,000 people on our email list. Now, we are fairly prolific at emailing. Our open rates are surprisingly high on the email, which is great. I share this with you, folks watching our YouTube videos, because you, in my opinion, are among our closest followers, fans, and supporters. So I want to share success with you along the way. 50,000 is a real number. I want to say our open rate's about 20% on any given day, which is really, really high considering the average open rate is about 2.3%. So good stuff. People are paying attention to what's going on, and that's what we want. So that's great. Other big milestone happened on the press release that we had on Monday of this prior week, which was that we now have contracted plus deployed SaaS revenue of over $500,000 a month on the books. That means that as we deploy the backlog, our actual billed revenues for SaaS will break through $500,000 a month, which is a run rate of $6 million a year, which is great. Which is also not inclusive of pass-through money on monitoring, and it's not inclusive of other revenue sources that we get for deployment or training, installation, whatever it might be in that category. So really, really cool, right? These are things to celebrate, and I'll share with you. The team is working really, really hard, as you know. You guys know me. You see me on these videos. You know how hard I work. And really surround myself with people who work as hard or even outwork me from time to time. So that's good to know. Everyone's really happy about it, and it fuels our ability to work and stay motivated and keep giving extra. So I want to share that with you. Part of those things that we get from having a fully engaged team is great productivity, right? Just fully engaged productivity. And that's resulted in a couple great software ads, specifically Select Blur, which I'm a big fan of. It might take some time before it's producing some revenue, which is fine. It's going to strengthen our relationship with existing customers, going to win us a few new ones. It differentiates us. So it's all good. We actually have the second version of it releasing next week, which has a bunch of client-inspired improvements and some additional features that we felt were lacking as well. So really cool on that. We'll probably stop development on it and return to other projects since it's in a very polished state at this point. So that's great. The other software innovation that we built specifically for a particular industry is our hook and chain analytic. That press release came out on Thursday, the 15th of February. And I encourage everybody to read it because again, it talks about how we listened to customer needs to come up with something special. It's so funny. So many businesses say, hey, we listen to our customers. We listen to our team. We right? All that stuff that you see. And they don't. Instead, they say to their customers, hey, this is our product. Go and sell it. And that's, that's one strategy, but it's not ours. Our strategy isn't about selling a product. It's about selling a solution to customers who need it. And I want our team to focus this way because I don't want the contracts to be canceled. So I have to have a real problem to solve so that we stay in place forever, right? Or however long is reasonable. We're a SaaS company. We earn our money every month. So we want to be careful with our time and find problems that need solutions. And along the way, we're very clear that we want to listen. We want to listen because we're not experts in healthcare. We're not experts in automotive. Sure, we're security experts. Okay, we are that, but doesn't mean I know every little bit of every customer's needs. So because other companies are so organized and focused and efficient at selling the solution that they don't necessarily have the bandwidth to even be interested in listening to what customers want per se. So we're very much about that, and I think it shows. It shows with how we're building strong customer relationships. The other part of it that lets us have the ability to do this, to be responsive, is because we're one of the rare companies that's fully vertically integrated, which means that from the time that we come up with an idea to the time that idea is delivered to a customer, we've done all the work. Let's say you're a security systems integrator. You have to sell what's already been built. You don't have that choice. Let's say you're a camera manufacturer. You're basically, in this mode of doing what other people are doing or chasing down other people instead of necessarily listening. So a lot of companies have their hands tied in that degree, in that area. We don't. So we're going to maximize it. Just about that. This morning, by the way, I'm recording this the afternoon of Thursday, February the 15th. So this morning, I get an email. A guy reaches out to me on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, by the way, has devolved into people asking you for stuff. Like just saying, if you're on LinkedIn, if that's your experience, it's hard for me to post on it because it just opens up a rash of, hey, we sell this and that. No, stop, please. Anyway. So he reaches out to me on LinkedIn and he emails me and he says to me something like, hey, we're doing XYZ for this company that is your competitor or that fancies themselves our competitor. And I'm thinking, and they name the competitor too. And I was like, wow. I was like, I think that's a violation of, I didn't say it because I don't care that much, but I was thinking to myself, that's a violation of their NDA. I'm sure of it. I would be stunned if it wasn't a violation of their NDA. So that had kind of upset me because I don't like dealing with unscrupulous people or companies. So that was, that was a turnoff to begin with. But it illustrates why, at this point at least, I insist that we continue to be vertically integrated. I don't want to lose control of our roadmap, and I don't want somebody else dictating what that might be. I want our roadmap heavily influenced by client needs. So that's going to be one of the reasons why we remain vertically integrated. The other part of it is it builds our IP, builds our control. What happens if that other company goes out of business and that robotic competitor doesn't have that software to rely on, right? It's a safety thing as well. So we'll continue to build our own stuff and it makes us stronger. And, just thinking how to say this, just think about how that would affect our ultimate market cap as things develop. That's all I can say on that right now. But I'll move on and I'll say, hey, the Rex has to shut down for a few days in a couple of weeks because we have inventory, year-end inventory. Everybody should know our year end ends on February 29th this year. And so right at year end that week, auditors will come in. So the factory will be shut down for a few days as we organize and do a bit of a year end cleaning. So not a bad thing. But in the meantime, we're working to get as many orders in and as many devices out as we possibly can. So things are definitely busy as usual. Complicated by a lot of travel. So handful of team members on the sales side are out on the road, presenting and talking to customers and doing demos. And that's a great thing. We really work the phones and, Teams. We use Teams for video conferencing as much as possible. But there's just times when you have to get out and meet people and have them meet you and see the stuff in person. And we do that as reasonably as we can. And this was just a week where a bunch of things came together and a few people were on the road. So that is what it is. I've got to get on the road a little bit more myself to see more people and do that. So I got to fire up my sales, my travel engine and get moving on that. You could tell I'm a little reluctant. Decades of living on the airplanes does not excite me to return to that, but it's part of the deal. We brought on 2 new business development managers this week. One is focused on and has experience in healthcare and higher ed. The other is focused on and has experience selling similar product to Rio. Similar in as much as it was a precursor to before we decided to put Rosa on a solar tower. So very excited about that, right? Brought our line level BDMs from 2 to 4. So it's very exciting. Hoping that we start seeing some returns early, but you never know. You got to give folks training and lead time and runway in order to be successful. And that's what we'll do. That's what I've got this week, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you to the 50,000 plus people that follow us. It's very exciting to see you. One thing you'll note is that every milestone that we hit just opens up a new milestone. We're at 50,000 on the email. I want 500,000. We're at 500,000 on the monthly recurring. I want 50 million. I don't know. Maybe not that much. Maybe we'll get there one day in time. Have a wonderful weekend. Good to see you. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and so on. We'll see you.